El Kata yenim ejare so ewo me benkum so a screen no 24-hour economy or the asempa na bo asempa na dey nimu no eno wapa wontoma fefefa wo chese obecha ase na afi waye hu hihye na ahya ase edi dwuma no say president starts 24-hour economy engine ambitious plan to revamp industry and so El Kata yenim as abana headline. Kwesi,
right, so I think the big story now here, the much anticipated 24-hour economy. Say, but this is one of the biggest major campaign promise. Ghana football, so obey 24-hour economy. Now many of us are expecting the first budget, boom. So what is can line black womb so ye a framework a day 24-hour economy no ebeba am adam jebo obabe framework na ba na wutie John Mahama prior to 2024 election na my yet say a one job 3 shifts so mainly ubekwa djuma man for crowd we say, oh, we could run past 6 to 2, then 2 to 8, then 8 to the next morning 6. It's that is 3 shifts, 1 job. But let me say the proper policy framework in the bar, you don't really even hear much about 3 shifts. You don't. Tell the make catch you say there seems to be a policy shift. As a normal promise here, no. And you know, my
settings and
meaning settings because normal promise here, no.
Settings. Hey,
I say, and you know now, but this one looks more of a sectoral approach in developing the country across board. It's every minister is part of beer can because on the 8 thematic areas in Aba. I was trying to go through them. Your Aspire Ghana, Go 24. Your okay, so Grow 24, Make 24, Build 24, Show 24, Connect 24, Fund 24, Aspire 24, and Go 24. It's when we now
everything 24.
Everything 24. I need name no. The person say
it's 24.
They reach 24 count. It's in each part of it, especially your fans say, build Ghana, build 24, say, and you're more about infrastructure. Yeah, you're quite near the idea. So I'm asking myself, you better quite a duana. It's a question you're asking. So I think, say,
you know, quite say, you be there.
By election,
by election, tourism. And yet tourism. Okay. So we have our culture, our food, and they show 24 no. How a bit me are benefiting with that. It's policy. Your market 24 in Accra, in one of them. The market 20 means say
better night market interchange new plan station market 24 6 and
yeah, right. So I mean and then you cotton your friends Taifa.
Yeah.
Taifa. Pig farm. They go to pig farm.
But also night market is 24.
Oh yeah, it's 24. So I mean essentially that. You say no aba I feel like be issues anymore. Big question. I'm say here. And they say 4 billion they be free here. Or the government say or the $300 million at the ESC fund. And can probably private sector and the funding. How true is this? We will try and get into the details of the matter going forward. Economists be boy. Yan Kenya a some year industrial park manufacturing. Some make 24 no. And you more about manufacturing. Do we have the energy sufficient for some manufacturing now? Me a question in the period. Besides, you know what they're about. Ghana for the can say you yate. I feel that we should say be ye jumani is you overly ambitious and I say I do bit in ya next 4 years no one last thing kind was on the parliament send a bear binding on Ghana going forward. Okay. But you see, I'm asking myself this question. Looking at the nature of politics in Pakistan or Ghana, the nations of Ghana, or Ghana never. It's she said Mobi, and I said saying, I don't know. Exactly. Not to be such as because if the person doesn't believe in the vision of 24 hours, so well now they have the majority in parliament, so then the only person want to swap they can easily do that. And I just said the next president in the majority to equally vote to reverse it. No, you're crazy.
But you grow 24 now, farm 24.
No, grow 24. And one year a great more of a great, grow 24, more of a great, using the water base in Yadi.
Said the Kwesi Akano, Mr. Meka Kakre bi de aka ho say. Me de ne de akoye bibisa semisa as a question so de mente ase bi. Na ne nyina mu no areas na Kwesi aboboso ana so say no president no ne me sure say de o ma ye ho policy framework abeto ho a omo eno so no behwe eno ma expatiate no mo de aye adwuma ebe capture enioma sen asin 133 na yaka ho asem a no ane campaign no sa asem eno na na flagship ade pa we campaign NDC campaign mu last year grow 24 no ebeye ne 24 hours sen ye bekọ afum 24 hours ana say ebeye de me sure say yekoye ni mu no empanyimfo be bie ne mani so yie de akyen kakra me chip in e de afa ho eye ma ne de ase ma bank asem no asem nkomo na yenya kakra
women's bank
ai ho na nkomo na yenya kakra we the vice president you be ye besre no say on tinsim na on fa mani nyina na yenhunu baabi ade na nkasa kwasa yesu ye kolonche ya ye kan wasem hu sika beto odwa kofo bobo hu ansa amount ni as compared with sectors ahudo bi sika ye twade koma wo but omeye na yenhunu ade nani ase yaka to ho e yaka sika but yenhunu baabi ye kro omo me bi eni mfama ye na Indian Prime Minister Nidi no
Narendra Modi.
Narendra na so mo aka akra Mahindra. India for aka Mahindra no. And difference anyway na we ye mana kwa ba ye say no president hosting to a state banquet no anajo. Ai na no pay. Obekwa address parliament. Ye nyina ye de ani be de achi ne nkomokra wo de ba ye no. Ye tietie bi. Na afi ya rewe hu. Now
it is accelerated export development.
Okay.
Don't be account. First, not just 24-hour economy. Now, 24-hour economy and accelerated export development. So, in terms of the whole organism, and I say, 24-hour economy. The Bobbian and the Tibian in us.
We're mutating.
Mutation. We're mutating sort of.
For the Ghanaian Times, it was the most authoritative newspaper. Fabia Mofa, and Funny and Babata. No, Fabia Mofa Babata. It's Babata, popular. It's a rouse, say Akoto, on the NDC communication team. No, and I'm funny in which I to here was a 24-hour economy will stir growth. And also so a 24-hour economy who has some Henry or Sakoto, no was some and I walk and pay or then I know atumu be na asem kasia a banner headline at the Ghanaian Times and pay 24-hour economy na kasa and Hontoma and Robo Pie no and now my penny His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and in penny for who will be aging her and so Kratai Abon page 12 say 24-hour economy takes off. Policy to create 1.7 million jobs, voter lake to be major transport corridor. And also Katayinim as our banner headline. After Indian Premier arrives in Ghana for state visit. And also so Enimu Anupe. And after 10 arrested for illegal gold trade. After Asiepa na say EC conducts elections in selected polling stations at Ablikman North July 11. And also so yakamwasem anope and I said my boss so graphic mu anope. Stay here.
Mama fa 24-hour economy no. Papa tade na o ka no. say enona in tandem with main program na course so won kan no say yetimi ye ni of course the difference beba because ebe employ nipa ema de na o tifia wonya adwuma nye no afi obenya adwuma ye na ne nyina no ye adwen a ye de bekomu mesre Ghana for sade we hit the road running na ye normal regular attitude a ye de ko dwuma mu no e wo say ye check ye ho checks and balances bebre wo say ye ordinarily no Ghana for bebre no a men kan say ya adwene nye but yakwadwo some level wo soro
adwenye
Kwesi adwene nye wo
waka na waka
yakwadwo some level ya yakwadwofo
adwene
ya yakwadwofo especially omo ya ne ko aban nwum wo de toto ankrankra de ne ho ono na abie na adwuma nto yo obefa ya we so de query fa ha we sene ha ya adwene ne se aban wo no job security ne wo soro ntansa ne yebepam obi kura fra adwuma mu no na atwea koduru ba bia o deserve se yepam no na ye ne namu asa ye adwuma no one nam ho video bi e ba ya obi ne nam adwuma ho de me se ye me fa de bia me hwe ne be
odibirika na wa
we ko so aso ko no si o
no no do boxes
odibirika sa so am fa hwe
why nyɛ
we ko so me so be di pay me wo bi da ye Ghana for attitude pa me emfa nkom na yenyen na yenhwɛ ebia na eno so ne nyame be na mama adwuma ba na emabunu anya bi aye nti asem kro na bi na papata e ka wa ha sei na papata appointment maintaining kan
na papata onyanya hwe na
ebia me wie ha ya mehwehwe ne chi akwan na ye de nkom maintaining kan
so 1.7 million jobs and ubiquity fine hallelujah then again obviously by 130% agri productivity it's this time the me kind we will center more on agri as of mine because 24 economy the bar and be your bompa ye dey nyampa bo nyan se ebefa it benefit all of us matise former MPBC or bompa se John Mahama Feli or Feli na ka MPB team ya ba dem I don't think say me catch me say I don't think say we say ye mpaibo me catch me say ye mpaibo ne mpaibo ni say odi ya yinya ebedi ntina nya because o person wa ba o party ba be muntino obi mfiel uya sa emboa now that said easy for the see no confusion be na doso you see if you monitor the process easy for catch say I can just 3 police stations 3 in an aka or somewhere more like if there's going to be any rerun and or somewhere I say about to do 19 or call parliament just about 2-3 weeks ago parliament board say there's not going to be any rerun because already they have the information. And then with press statement in the ban, almost that 19 na kwakodun is because it's a presiding members, presiding officers, and verify the other result in the ban. The question is exactly that's the question. Is the question. It's ma omo kase omo ye incompetent no
such no man bridi ebufuo ne sa no
they are trying to be vindicated omo kase electoral commission said as omo nim omo ye no mo tie dwuma na se no ya correct because if we compare catch parliament say 3 police station and aka 2 weeks down the line, say, 2 weeks down the line. They come and tell them that 19. I mean, what the confusion about? They say every voice of Monko. NPPC, they would resist any attempt to be say,
almost I don't pay press conference.
And up at 10 a.m. Justin Kodia will address the press. It makes it easy. You see, we're doing more they're very sensitive.
Say, bro, Fukrom, you say bogus.
Yeah, I'm saying bogus. Yeah. And you're very sensitive, easy for you. So the word is they have to be meticulous when they are handling issues.
Why?
That's the word. Meticulous.
Meticulous.
They have to be very meticulous.
Be bigger than a coin. We had money in this year.
The problem,
Yes, in young Wasamka.
So, Mbeko and Aso Munko is in a
Monko. And this is
so Monko. Said happy birthday. I see.
Yeah, the happy birthday, Emma Sewa Bruni, our Canada, Abrochi Memu. Yes, or no winning power Canada pa. We are Ghanaian. You know, we are Sewa Bruni, we do and no Canada. So we are Ghanaian, could do Canada for fra. obeboa wa church for we to have we to have
obechire
okrom and ti oboni on e church in Nkofo e Canada ti happy birthday to you say wa broni if obasma say ya happy birthday Yankopon show na wakoma pa o de bo nipa no Canada hema Yankopon show pa ti say wa broni no happy birthday to David Chiramatin ya ta friend doctor if you want kasa wo fiancé Doreen ho Doreen si wenim wechi ahonka wom wonam baby to Doreen so do pa anti owura David Chiramatin ya ta friend doctor happy birthday to you David Doreen say odo pa happy birthday to Benis Adomakun. Happy birthday to Mrs. Benis Adomakun. If you kunu ura Akwesi Adomakun ita fa no oji ho. Say happy birthday to you Mrs. Benis Adomakun from ukunu oji anase Akwesi Adomakun. O se Yankopon show. Happy birthday to Steven Opuni Mensa Etafa Waddle UK Abrichumemu. Happy birthday to you Steven Opuni Mensa Etafa Waddle UK Abrichumemu. If you want kasa sister Harriet Araba se odo pa Yankopon show na ya fisika ne bra mo pounds no eso atenti wo de ba na wama emu ayedu stay here
me crowd the mini birthday ni bi na Ghana to say ye be 24-hour economy na agenda reset no national agenda no na be resetting ama ye be di nkomo nti eno na me boss of the actual man for tizium
uni bi o ene stay kwe nya ate ho ache we dey enja ebre no manu na afi mfa Ghana sesen ento aso entinsi 24-hour economy enkomo no mu midin ede na na ama entifo
so na no pay 24-hour economy ya nura mampanyi ene na bedi echi na fa so afo mpanyimfo ekopa ho ntoma won kran no eno na ya tie sim na ye di ho nkomo ya kware de course ewo dwuma na se na afa nsem bi a mpanyimfo bi kekan ye ne omo kan ye bribi atwam ne de nura ye pa ho ntoma no ewo ayonkofa bi ananso sensunsun ye eda ne nyina entem mampani John Mahama kasa no na se mo de to dwane se 24-hour economy ye a wabepa ne dwuma ne ho ntoma no se si forma e beboa ama manfo nya dwuma ye no na esomfa so no kese ka oman no ene Ghana adehye nyina nam so ama wa che se ebesesa ye sikasem ne nsem o kan ye yenkohwe bimra
Ghana Mampani John Dramani Mahama abechiri mi se 24-hour economy jumedia mapa ho ntoma eba be hyase wo mem no eba beboa ama oman Ghana yatimi asesa eniyemem Mampani Mahama to aso echiri mi se ohwe 24-hour economy na ebeboa ama productivity drive export ama ni padodo na akwanya na disikanso aba omu nyina ebotoma na ne ebedi mutintiman eyekuayo a obehye obia ade ne hu behye mevisa asase yantama hodo ene ne yedi bedi dwuma ewo memu ame yatimi
This is more than a policy initiative. It is a national reset, a bold strategic shift to unlock our country's full productive potential. Today we reclaim our founders' vision of a self-reliant, industrious and inclusive African nation that works with organized creativity and ensures prosperity for all. So what are the origins of the 24H vision? The vision behind the 24-hour economy and the accelerated export development program was born from reflection during and after my previous term in office. Between 2016 and 2020, it became increasingly clear that Ghana, like many African countries, is trapped in a model of unequal exchange. We export raw materials and we import refined finished products. We ship cocoa, gold, timber, and oil abroad, only to repurchase them as chocolates, jewelry, furniture, and fuel at a far greater cost. This model does not serve our people. It has never served our people. It generates foreign jobs. It fuels foreign economies and funds foreign healthcare and education systems. While our youth remain unemployed, our industry stagnates and our imports balloon. We had laid the essential foundation then for energy infrastructure, for roads, for ICT systems and human capital investment. But we knew that we needed to go further. And that meant we needed an integrated, bold and coherent approach that dismantled the silos of past policies. The 24-hour plus program is that collective answer. And so we've moved from slogan to strategy today. In 2020 and again in 2024, thank you. In 2020 and again in 2024, the idea of a 24-hour economy captured national attention. It became a slogan of hope, a symbol that change was necessary and that it was possible. Our task now is to move from vision to implementation, from aspiration to action. This launch is not the end, but it is the beginning of a massive national mobilization. But let me be clear here. The 24H Plus agenda is not simply about extending working hours. It is about unleashing productivity, expanding opportunity, accelerating exports through well-structured, multi-sectoral and inclusive
Omampani Mahama ewie ni nsem kra ochi umi se economy enya dia na aban beji 24-hour economy atane ni asiu na mu aban betenachi no adarete na ankrankra dwumeku ahodo no aboa amanatimi abam na sai ni suade hunu no ene beboa ama o maisi kasem etimi adwuna brane na o man Ghana de hie bia eho etimi atono.
The 24-hour plus agenda comprises synergistic sub-programs that are tailored to key value chains. And you must have heard the ministers mentioning them. These include Grow 24. Now, Grow 24 is about boosting agricultural productivity, agro-processing, and food security. Make 24 is about revitalizing our manufacturing and industrialization. Build 24 is about accelerating infrastructure, construction, housing, and public works. Show 24 is about harnessing Ghana's rich creative, cultural, and tourism assets. And Connect 24 is about fixing our logistic chains, transport warehousing, ports, energy, and digital infrastructure. And Fund 24 is about unlocking innovative financing through credit guarantee schemes, blended finance, and venture capital. Aspire 24 is about building the skills of our people, our values, our ethics, and digital capacity for competitiveness. And Go 24 is about mobilizing all sectors, religious, security, academic, and civic, for national productivity and pride. This structure ensures depth and focus. We're not attempting to fix everything everywhere all at once. We're targeting high-impact, job-rich, and export-oriented sectors with strong forward and backward linkages. And now, so what is the famous Volta Economic Corridor we're talking about? That is our flagship anchor. While the 24-hour plus program is national in scope.
Ofutufu asunkukra ma 24-hour economy eyo onimianfo gushitando. Opani so kasai echichimi se enhyehyeye ne akwan hodo pi ana omafa so a se beya 24-hour economy no ebetimi aboa na omode enema egu akwemu a yumeku ahodo obeya 24-hour economy no ombetimi anya nyanambi se beya ebeboa omo no nso eni suade hunu ne sabotaye no watimi aboa ama na timi abemu a ombefa abefo kwan sunku so kra eni nyina ebema se eni suade hunu no abem.
We are now in implementation mode. We have divided the program into around 50 separate commercial, institutional, and social projects. We are writing concept notes for the first 20 of these projects. These concept notes have so far been our primary tools for engaging with institutional stakeholders, including local and foreign entrepreneurs, financiers, donors, contractors, CSOs, MDAs, MMDAs, community leaders, youth leaders, and others. They will be available on our website for interested persons to engage. We are pursuing several other targets in parallel. Firstly, on an ongoing basis, we have begun the work of aligning our project with our current and planned government initiatives to minimize overlaps and increase synergy. For example, we have worked closely with the Minister of Agribusiness, Trade and Industry, Madam, to ensure that our respective textiles and garments programs complement rather than compete with each other. This effort culminated in an industry roundtable on June 9th, where stakeholders discussed the direction of textiles and garments policy and identified locations for future textiles and garment parks. The parks will not only be in Accra or in Tema, they'll be distributed across the country so that we can industrialize every aspect of the country where it's required and deemed bankable. Similarly, we're in the process of structuring and negotiating the concession regimes for the Volta Lake Economic Corridor with Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, VRA, and the Ministry for Energy and the Green Transition. Secondly, we have presented our 24-hour plus incentives package along with its impact assessment report to the Ministry of Finance for final review and adoption. Our proposals to the Finance Minister aim to simplify incentives and eliminate unnecessary bureaucratic discretion, thereby discouraging arbitrariness and facilitating the automation of processes. Thirdly, we are conducting feasibility studies on commercial projects, aiming to have priority projects investment ready by year's end. Indeed, we have learned that some priority projects already have bankable feasibility studies that only need updating. Fourthly, and very importantly, with the guidance from the Bank of Ghana in collaboration with Development Bank of Ghana, Venture Capital Trust Fund, and Ghana Exim Bank, we must finalize and in the process of finalizing our SME on-lending platform and our value chain lending scheme so that funds can flow to the 24-hour economic projects and the qualified entrepreneurs who run these projects. Fifthly, ladies and gentlemen, we are activating the mobilization component of the program. Aspire 24 and Go 24 may appear 7th and 8th on our list of sub-programs, but they are not afterthoughts. Everything is integrated. Aspire 24, mindset change, digital fluency, Go 24 will ignite a spirit of self-organization and civic responsibility among Ghana.
Ne krakra mu no onmianfo gusitan ewie ne se o se nkrokro amahodo nyina ede won hye mefise omuguso a ye nhyehyɛ ahodo emra kwanso obebu onchidom na obia etimi aye 24-hour economy no ebi.
Community level, where we live, work, school, worship and play. Communities must be empowered to address local challenges, and ultimately we need to build a truly participatory democracy that functions effectively at the national, district and sub-district levels. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, we will soon become a statutory authority. The appropriate legislation is being finalized for onward transmission to Parliament. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have made a significant leap towards our goal. We are very, very, very early in the long journey that the President has described. The road may be long, but we are ready, able to walk it. We hope to walk this road with all of your support. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank those who have helped us to get to this far. The program was framed, developed, tested, written up, and illustrated by a dedicated, talented, youthful workforce and professional team between January and May 2025. Their ages range from 24 to 69 years old. I'm not the 69-year-old, by the way. I am personally grateful to every member of the Secretariat for your faith in Ghana, your long nights, your imagination, your competence, and your rigor. I could not have asked for a better team. However, ladies and gentlemen, the Secretariat is the first to admit that we stand on the shoulders of
abusuafo enra enkomo yi na course so e won kran na yehwewe wura ode na no sisi yera guzitano ya wono na president mampani e de adwuma ma no se onkoye eho nneoma nyina policy e fa ho na afi won famra na enra na ya pa ho ntoma de na chese dwuma no efi asea ne sa ama empanimfo e de adwuma ma Ghana eni mabuna wo mu enya esonfa so bebre nti nyina yemfa mpa ne akoma panta akiri na yenhwe ne niema bekọ obi anso mfa ne ho nyim na yemisa ho nsem ne yente ase no yemisa ho questions na afi ye ho na ye ma ye ni koso na ye bom ye ho modern wo sa kwan ne so a nyame beto nsupagu so ama ne omapa yi hia no yensa atumi aka na me riwie na me san kan se women banking no e ma ne de no eno so ma ye kan kohye so nsuo ebobobobo wa wansia ohia pro code ufa ne ba ko mienu miensa ebeti ni nyina kra ma ohwene na asie no emframa tumi afam ye wo chako toothpaste wo ani nyina so yeko jakede ni bi na de fluoride wo mu no so wo ho na sensitive toothpaste no eno so de ne se no ntumi mfa nsuo a ye nwuno ana ade a ye hye no pebi na efetwetwu sen na emochidom upebi ato atu aton a no afre 0531 06 9945 and 0531070020. Meeting the Kwesi doa. With the Musia, with the Munina Secret Assumption.
day, a new day, a trading and powder room, my essential beam, and health and lifestyle, bro. Na anopeni Hebrew nino, nebedi and commone, nature, watagano, and yasam ketua. Ti Yebeka say, Baruch haba Adonai, Baruch hata Jerusalem, Jerusalem. Jetem kuchom. Yeah, that's Alpha Blondie. No. Me din the PSC lady. Health and lifestyle dey ba no pay no. Mr. Abeka Adam Jonah. We medical sonographer. Yebeka semen analysis and once nene. Hebrew ni everywhere, every day, anytime. Washe Hebrew che. Ala, enye Hebrew che.
We Hebrew dressing.
How they ba no pay.
They are the first religious people almost started say almost a dressing and demonstrate your culture and their belief.
Wow.
Yeah.
Na me hu alphabet o me hu kind of aleph. Aleph.
Said all kind of alphabet Hebrew alphabet into aleph. That is how they pronounce E.
No, because aleph just alpha and then tav. The last one is omega. The beginning and the end. God. Shema Israel. Adonai Elohim Adonai Echad.
As a chain and say Israel Munti, you ready a young coupon where you're back.
No other, none other. Nyamene hene. Or how be a family Nyamene hene. Yada say anope Hebrew nino waba. Semen analysis. We are medical sonographer. What is semen analysis?
PZ me that say Nadia Mechia brother would phone you. Remember I walk Ghana for 9 years in Michia member and that is your fa a member. Ya na yaka say oba say woni be matena dem for 1 year na mo have unprotected sex na say nyinsan ma na wo say utua na mo but awo na nyani pa ba akona ewo nti say 1 year na say awo nyinsan bi ampie mu a na ge say na how bi ekoso wo baby but ya na yaka ma na ti ko say monko debi ye wo hawa wodo bebre wo hono mu a ha memma emwama memma ntumi nyinsan ma ye ne omote emfa won se wo be ma no wawoda debi because ye wo ban so ono so wawoda sese no no tusi ni nyina ye den a block a wontumi enyinsan bi saa so na ye wo be ma so a wawoda sese me no kase wonya oligospermia e ka holigo a e chese sperms no kra oni bi sperms no kran woni bi enti nano ye besua ne ahwe edie na ema memma ne bi enya oligospermia na se omosime mortality no ye wo memma bebre ho a ye ne omo kwa up and down oba there is no way o meet me nyinsa mama na yi if we say ono wonam ho no kran won check no ho kran hwe but e was say be ma wo ho a utu anamo na wo check won kwa obetimi aba that is it ubetimi ne wo yere nso ayeden aba but I want them man now because of our ego man dey no sorry man no say why dey no sorry it has nothing to do say ubetimi anyinsan oba pc enyoma ben na ekoso infertility in men enyoma ekoso infertility in men enyoma wo do bebre your time here kind very cosel na intinia eso showa no aba no emu sa intini no etumi be honho no se etumi honho no a ekoso infertility ebe den se wo be ma no betimi anyinsen oba enyoma ba mbiem na ebetimi ama wo be ma no wontumi nyinsen oba be ma wona mada for so long oba bia complain say wanyem na da ana oba bia fa nyinsen be kire wo da enje na me ka cho say o problem e wo sperms sim ana wo semen mu say e den say wo betimi nyinsen oba na wo be ma no say bia e wa wo yere but the question is I am bebre no you take advantage of being good in bed being hard in bed and to say what you two na money checking your as in member say me hunsuo na e ba no kra enkwamwa wo mu ana say enkwamwa mu nim no into ho na mo enyoma ben biom so na etimi cause infertility excessive smoking please any twi e be kan say
o nom bibi she o do ma na o she
say be smoking. Yes.
Sebia bo.
Yes. And also intakes of some alcohols.
And something.
In Sebia wa no more a bread nkwamoa no ebre omo ase ebre nkwamoa won say very close na American oba na etwa scanner they said the damn for nyi so it's like intini na esoso hwa na ba mu intini na ye yakese intini na ye yakese nti ama wontumi enyinsen oba ema ni nyeyi ebi so no de ewo hwa na wo hwa na ba no wote se emu ya wo ya eye sign a ka kire wo say bi yenya problem bi wo hwa na ba mu edi nche na ye ka say eye sign edwuma hwa na ba ne ye nyina na say e produce sperm na produce na nya no na woni oba ehia eba o woni oba ehia you na eba dey friend semen sa sperms no e wo semen nim by no agi say ye the semen no koto fidi ase ansa ne ye hunu nkwammo na ye den ewo mu no ye wo enwoma wodo bebre ekos e wo ho a no won say wo hwa no hwa na ba no aye kese obi kura to me ba o say o wase me hu say me hwa na ba na aye miensa enye miensa ye wade ye kan epididymis na store sperms no enkwammo na hwa na ba no produce no se epididymis no save a eno so to be infected infected ye kan epididymitis se infection no koso na koka hwa na ba no so be ho no o kan me nu bom be epididymoitis na kire say de a preserve sperms no nkwamoa no yare abem ena de produce nkwamoa no so eye sperms so eno so yare abem it in that case no nkwamoa na a preserve no de hwa na be preserve ni nyina no enya de be active bi enti say woni oba hia wo de be adwuma no all right but nso na aba na enya de betimi enyinsen oba na mana ye amana ye enyoma bi so a etumi koso saade no eye infection na meka no ebi enam yare se wotina se na gonorrhea no dokrowa na se some infection bi edokrowa last me can say said the ma ye infection no e block your fallopian tubes ema said the enkwamwa na ba o mu block fallopian tubes no nti ama woni be hia sperms no entumi swimming fat through the fallopian tube enko fertilize wo oba no ukosua no saso na emema no se nya infections bi a e block tubes na enkwamwa no be free wa for hwo no mama be gu epididymis ni mu no eye reservoir e preserve enkwamwa no enti we ade a emema no enu kwase yeta what na se 1 year se wo hwa atopa wo bu asase we so na oba na madodo a wafa na oba bia mfanyi se ma se kwabna Jerry Harry menyi se no ene me ka jo say question mark ewo ho question mark ewo ho be me bia woni mad for about 1 year 2 years obe wo so enana woni omoda no unsuro HIV unsuro go no omo ho ban but obe bia mfanyi se nyadan emai ene me ka kire wo say wo how enti wo say otuwa na money ye check wo shwana abana mawo ye check wo hunsuo no epese wo nkwammo obetim de yin se oba na se woni bi
anope asem ya to yenyo
PSR
edina boy e see free what is substitution by elimination kakra
amampa na say Dania na say Alex
Henry
Henry no oh okay penny bi din ya twasan
okay
penny bi dia ya twasan yeah onti yawo enyama wodo bebre nso a ekoso saade no especially ndwuma bi wo a wo ya wo PSC all the time na wo se utuwa na mo say obekoko check wo
okay
especially those working at the mining sectors
is it
do you know one interesting thing at my status me who say asam count those are the mining sectors like the Ghana say all the official mining sectors and they say they are one way or the other no a massam kakra so we go to this mining sector you produce there you give birth or shabano but the question is again just sabano kwa yoba again just sabano kra no e yoba
send ya chewade
okay sa mercury na omo use no
it me friend med
low sperm count
yes
it me cause oligospermia okay enye enonko a omo ye jahu adwuma bebre no the tiniest skin ye wo hyewa no to make a conducive place for hyewa no entina omo hye pants hye boxer na wasa hye jeans ansa na hye no wana tade a wodi pie heat bejina ho heat jina ho the sperm will not be able to produce the testicles will not be able to produce active sperms.
Sperm no muntimi nya adwuma.
This remember na na mo kwa say ina one thing say indro chemicals bi a ye no de ma na da no e kill your sperms.
E ho no kiremu ye. Unim antipe.
Antipe yeah.
No doros.
Yeah.
Wo mo say wan kiremu ya obi did na isa aba no de ba ade
was some from farm ba wo pie at least boxer nkwa na obehye wahye boxer na wahye watade a wodi pie
enye boxer tawe
debi enye se wo hya ma na ye yiro obi wo na boxer ni mu duro no etwen atade na wahye kra wodi pie no the same applies to a man I was say enframaye dey e fa wo ho saa na me ma no so tie enti say wo pant nkwa na obehye na wahye wo pant nkwa enhye pant enhye boxer
ote sofo bi oka bar kese nchechire wa no ote da
David chere mo kakra
hwe wose obi ho no head abakurum no oba opese ma na ni boso a o madwo munya adwembone na elengelenge te se bar kese nchechire wa wose so ma anya saa no ma wanhye yi e be ya yi a ase de wo pese wo hwedwa no
say we no sabio sa mema say am me matese mema ni bi bua e dresses but say obazo obegu we di we you know it doesn't you serious because to me na you go fair akura say we be dressing now it's like where you are there at abontin wow PS back to the topic you know we don't just sorry preoccupy say maba Mr. Beka check the semen analysis ma'am
okay
you have to abstain from sex for some time. I don't know you
go so otena sisa so that's what for akwa what wade so
yeah
otena so does it affect
it affect your waist
usisi mom okay
it affect your waist as ma okay another time the topic bi beba ama a man na gina fa koton aduane gina because of immobile no movement na embaninty psa a time will come if they don't take move a lot of them make a them me am a friend pa na me talk doc no on ho all of a sudden one will pay by doctors will make na psa the knife from na serem ko kana na say intinu mu nyina si intinu because wo jina ho no wo to aduane nti movement bi ama movement say no be enti say what na say sana wonya waist problem so wonya waist problem na say anon be ye din a ade abedin can affect no your erection say affect your erection it can also affect your semen your sperms interne very very important pa affect your sperms into edumaden ina mamemra we so ye nuanu memma na omonnom nduro de kwagem ebelde no psa the major side effects of sa nduro na omonnom de body pagan na de dress no low sperm count
okay
and this we obi a what anom sandro ni bi pa we obi a what anom sandro ni bi pa e wo say wutu ana mo say ubetu ana ma aba na ya check you na ya say ndro na wo no enya effect e wo sperm so anase enya effect bia
de imagine mo ya kese
oh yes nkofo num ndro e build say de ya obey nice man or the best club TV ni ade obey attractive to ladies syndrome e was side effect me say ade bi o ha
nana bodu su
e na me say in the internet wo ho ntino me betena ha me ka bibia me nsuro if you say omo ankasa wo tie yenden
wo wia wo de nana bodu wo wia wo de nana bodu beko fa nana bodu kan hoko
gogo
na ko he
nana bodu e wo say de no ko ales e wo say de no ko ima e wo say de no ko ye won kofo bebre pieze enche ye start heba na ahanum ya na be start enduro no na ahanumfo na ankasa di adanse omo pe kwatedindin yeah have to go raw.
Hey. And the men can be
good. Yes, when you and as aphrodisiacs na omo fan. They should be very careful. They should be
so kofana ho ayedin.
Na be ma ho ayedin aphrodisiac na make if it is pure herbs, praise the Lord. Boni bi ani. But ebi enyam ahabandia, it has nothing to do with erectile dysfunction. Na ya to China for there and they are fra
or they are some.
Yeah, they are some. Na ama be man won ya na so gidi office say look say dro na won no China for there na omaye no we ready hu a ye ma memma omodi 40 50 e ko omaye mre intam tan ko say be obedi 80 no that time they want me fa anya hwe kra na we okay in life won kan na kwade wo dwene ho an say nyame be mo apomodi a obeje wo cry de every win it is a woman say dro no say si a wo benya 40 years no I guess a gentleman before Oyerepa. Because at the end of the day,
so my part too.
Obviously, we have a whole lot to talk about this female mortality, female male infertility. No, me see in men man ye my ego no emra from. What the woman we yiri hu kra na, what the no money be to gay frɛ. Na fetchire, na be ye wade ko de. But yes, mama kan okranchire. So because you need low sperm count edura na wo boa. Ahabaya winnimu no e friend in wira. That is why Brony defining in wira weeds as an unwanted plant. Inti wira winnimu no ahabaya winnim e wira de ma.
That's right. Matthias here. You dance ni din ene Mr. Abeka Adam Jonah woye medical sonographer. A baskan party or bini mu akwadare mu ni mu kona baby a Yankopon insure no pay so be kyerɛkyerɛ na hom kan hit patch no omuso yemu na kojak farmer so yemu brush ni paste ahodo kodwa so a to kojak de na emwa wo sen wo twitwi na nkwa a to kojak charcoal toothpaste beboa wo pa wo se fefu mo kojak p ni kojak f am kan hit patch ya plaster ya wide tare yaw so aposo ne sasabro wo yusu beboa for 0599 802 297 0599 802 297 0248 509 003 and 0536 645 334. Bisa beka yeko. Obi be fra
obi pese wo frɛ na oje details e wo de ye ka no ho. Mr. Beka hwe ma wo do bebre na meye. Wo betimi afrɛ me. Mi okumase nko ana me wo me ni baby fufuro bia kumase nko a kumase me wo Ashtown Yehowa for the junction so pay maybe X5 restaurant. Obet me from you 0246 141 957
0246
141 957.
Yeda sepa Mr. Beka Adam Jonah, many thanks for coming. Hebrew no Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom.
That's right. Yeah, that's it. We did the PSC lady. Yeah, change over. Kwesi Parker Wilson be take over or the more cross over the day ban emo he. Ina desafi. Encantadios. Adios yebeshia.
to 80%. This is how we unlock the full value of inland Ghana and reconnect with our Sahelian neighbors. The finance and implementation institutional frameworks for 24-hour plus. The private sector will lead the 24-hour plus program. Government will facilitate and not dominate. Government will facilitate and not dominate. Any government funding in 24-hour plus will be catalytic, serving as seed funding for the 24-hour plus authority and supporting bulk infrastructure. Enterprise financing will be sourced through commercial.
And that was the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And a year 24-hour economy pahontuma. It's long in coming. Doduana Omushe Nimu as one of the major key campaign promises of the NDC prior to election 2024. No, now Dodona Fi say by March about count budget, like I said, but I'm 6 months down the line into his administration. Finally, John Mahama, what a 24-hour economy no abroad. You find this 24-hour economy and accelerated development export near Omoka and just say BBS Sakakra ewo home and none of pay will spend some time and get into all the details. There won't be a becoming in the show. Yeah, come about 8 thematic areas. John Mahama Ediaba or Build 24, Connect 24, Aspire 24, Make 24. A whole lot of issues in one. Make 24. Do we have a year no man? I didn't make 24. No. When you know, you become some another pay right on the show. Then again, I'm sure by now you've seen a video called a viral and UPSC student to be no more class. I just say you drag you more literally from the various lecture halls. You know, it become right your campus. You know, you become some another pay. You know, it was a for Mamu Bibia Kwaba from Oyerepa TV. So. Baby, you do your OBT agenda on Oyerepa Breakfast Time. That is OBT. Be doing at the Kwesi Parker Wilson. Now this morning, we call Facebook up Oyerepa TV. Share wo like a page, you know, for comment go ho. By carrying the amount and they are not pay 24-hour economy. We feel John Mahama. Sebi. Obetimi aye. And after we say we the settings and kwa emfa. We share situation is ya emfa. I mean tonka on the show now. I'm with your for Tracy, and then Thursday morning, with for Tracy, my usual guest this morning, Dr. Eric Bimpoa, or your political and economic policy analyst, or Babadu. Doc, Akwa.
Yeah, Kwesi.
Na macho bia bokodia.
Ya me adom, nyame kitaibu.
Bibia hyeyi.
Ya me adom.
Ya me as.
Ya me ayade, oni yedi ni.
Ya na no an yedi anyasi. For another pay another lecturer. Ono Chadewo a year appear Minka University, a Cananaka yen a friend of UCK. Like you see, I may those are the what I mean in you see, kind of friend, but she said, the friend appear Minka University. The part of senior lecturer Emmanuel Okain Boke or Babadu. Senior lecturer, a problem.
Yeah, Miniam.
Nambacho, Biabo Korea.
Namiabdom, Ukraine.
Na Chairman, what to say?
Bibia. Boko.
Very Boko.
Mechia mi VC.
Okay.
Professor Frederick. Safo na machia pro VC. Professor Boateng. Omo bo adwuma yi. Nti ye chia omo pa.
Oh, okay. Nti Mr. Okain Boke Senior. Our child here will appear me kind of say not upon that what's in Kano. Now, but you lecture. The course man actually.
Mechia Nkunta.
Accounting.
Mathematics.
Mathematics. Okay, nice one. So they
akuntabu na ye
okay, akuntabu na ye accounting and akunta na mathematics. Okay. Hey, I want to change the wow. Me kai square ne. We get shit more than that is the family. But it was for your show come on say. Now, I'll go to the board, now, maybe all the breakdown over here, 24-hour economy now. Now, we'll get into the details of it shortly. But before that, there's a worrying trend there, about in Bebuno universities, the situation, you understand what is happening there. But every say a yard in some UPSA 4, and or not in code, indecent dressing. Or dressing no shabby, meet certain standard no. Pamo clash video no. The bar no lecture because I'm charge your universities. It's to share thoughts on that briefing after your call at 24-hour economy. Video no mercy.
Charlie, the shoe my leg is ready. If you go jump. Hey, master, then go laugh me, because I really say them go laugh. The students see who go laugh.
Right, see, it was for UPSA or Accra, University of Professional Studies. Almost students in and see what the point if it share for every university, student handbook so show school no actually free students at every point in time. Now, this is a professional institution. Almost more professional courses. It's almost per se, almost student and learners they follow a certain kind of standard. And there, be a tattoo according to the school rules. What tattoo? Which me a tattoo baby any visible. I shut a becataso, but baby a man for me say a tattoo ni there be. A man or whatever from the tank top on some pet. Top na I say we full work akado. On pet jeans are yatititino. That jeans and pet. Mon pet shorts. Mon pet Charlie at the bell lecture. The we be about jogging suit be about this grande. Tasha and Tumnia daddy. Manage a jogging suit and manage a jogging suit in the some suit there. A tie, I bo, sanomoka suits. Anything apart from that suit in the so what boss whom you know, they don't want it. A student handbook in them. And a few days ago, you issue statement cautioning the students say a task force beba school more. I check this out and they said, almost show operations in a center. Some are saying it's a human right violation. ABC a violating right. What then home? Or baskets or babacha or babisha de keke. Chana de non coffee. No besha de and your wasem. Sana bika. ABC say there be. Yeah, chewa de any you have to conform to the standard of the institution. Then I'll cafe on a pay doc or no watch out there. University lectures, and I'm happy that I have 2 university lectures here. Doc, we should watch a video no. Which is a course so a quick take on that.
Kwesi made us na answer no. Kwesi imagine say now we are Accra. Now umami adamfu. Now we show pa over about 40 years ni. Na anopa we waiting how will you feel?
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. Ti me mame adamfo pa obechra de we crew. She obisi ose. The friend of Auntie Cecilia Akoto Danso.
Auntie Cecilia Akoto Danso.
Martin and Kano Pema Meniaji. Meniaji pa Auntie Ceci me fa kwan so na machia. Na machia sister Efia Pukuya, Mampukuya, or no so Abuso Kai, and now also so on meeting Komakama. Kwesi, institution be a even so Oko senior high no Konoa. say uku school no you ma code of ethics emra also udi so ewo institution ni mo no ye chede nyina de ma na ya prescribe ho punishment so aka ho eti by the time we be commit that offense no ni akohwe DSC because in human society no say ya mamra anya adwuma ya na hadwe the UPSC no KUST business school started and omu de ne de KUST business school de first degree no or prescribed uniform so say eba dede ba ho pa say university no mo say a business school we are training them to become professionals enti also ye kire omu the sort of dressing omu ko out enkoye problem ema omu and here and behold anomamu jina omu na so Mr. Magnus omu jina omu na so Frimpong Professor Frimpong omu jina omu na so din na de nkofo kan ye ene wura KUST campus baby a ho fe pa ye business school
because I'm saying uniform
ni bibia to hu say ho no decency ho
I see
before say wo ba no o mama o code of ethics and code of conduct obe issue in school ho
no, these are adults. I mean, when you these are adults.
Kwesi,
they take responsibility for whatever
Kwesi,
they do.
tie me. Yeah, I say university for adults.
Exactly.
Adults. But are they behaving like adults?
Now, Michelle,
what you become as much?
Fashion.
Yeah, me fashion. Any fashion so today.
I fashion.
I mean, institution no institution not spell it out. Ni niema also ope. So a choice. Obi am force obi ase o ma school mo. A choice o. Who na wo se obeba? Business school so be uniform. KUST. Opaye odi ase okwa CAF business school okwa odi mamefa Friday say Garden City Kenya omo nursing school say who students now you see say excellent what say so person we nursing kwa dia sa uniform we no also we degree nursing na she all white ni bi oba be masoso no say top white okaki woni se samran eda ho ena yesa tintim ehun wo made ama wo se hwe sa wo ma no kinkan na mo kokko se ye hade ese ne ye no and don't forget hwe school the credit no University of the professional we are training you to become professional them say mo kwa no why you too lenient.
Oh really?
Say I say owa opina pama omutimi sentade bi eno aga bro me interview no na meeting in the evening no also obaye no ne top ne down no okay omo consider no but na also slipper like the bathroom standards type ni bi no atia ni bi
okay
enti omo yaso mani nwura mu no immediately okọ nche ho no kopẹ
proper standards
be etoy edura inside meaning say saga no nim say emra bi wo ho na kana or test law na hwe my problem is guy and the way no see drag girl no
I mean human rights violation volunteering right
human rights violation ni there say one to mra will be evaluate where you human rights because no the champion human rights no
the fact say what top managers also that's all trends na watching
they watching no and I make us say trainer watching no what they say it doesn't solve the problem
right
and solve the problem be a trainer watching no what they say me say some more lecture room now there's certain dressing biba politely. I'll come to you. I'll talk to you. Say next time I don't want to see you in this. Yes.
What do you say?
Kwesi, you are model to become future leaders.
Yes.
You're model after me imparting knowledge, you know. What you say? Also knowledge let you know me ma also so utumi within the society. What you say? We deviant to the society. There are some schools where I'm saying young controls and man go there and see.
I see.
Go there and see dear Koso. It was in the crowd woman say me acquire the way no see trigger no in the first place where you ba. So ukoya no say nsa ho no aurora. Ana ne nsa nya sa net e uso mu no afon a what will you do? Eti omunya nto wase. Ade bia ba KUST business school eba no. What do you say? I'm for every stay. Right. But as time goes on, no, I'm for a new befa. I'm a baby. I
remember, Mr. Bojo. So, I mean, the concern is that, I don't know, and I was showing a time. Say, be your temptua, so Bearman, and our students Bearman, be disciplined. And by force, more shame because some say that this policy, no, it is to protect a year lecturer, and not because of the year student. What do you want to say?
Yo, medasi. Minchia Mr. and Mrs. Botchinian Abusiano. Sir, Ubisamia, I think, sir, that annual incident next year, I was saying, mining now, we have to put our heads in shame. Nentia Mekasa say, we have to go back to the background. Background, no. Your culture, your religion. The major religions are what Ghana hand say, the Christianity and then the Islamic. Now, we share Islam no more. Quran, okay, Surah no, chapter 24, verse 31. Or say, and tell the believing women to lower their gaze and guard their private parts and not expose their adornment except that which appears thereof, and to draw their head covers over their chest.
We are Quran, okay.
Quran, I can say me. Say ufri enwa Quran bebrewom. I mean call Christianity. Say okay. 1 Timothy chapter 2, 9 to 10. But say I also want the women to dress modestly with decency and neat, not with elaborated hairstyle or gold or pale or expensive clothes, but with good deeds.
That are not fashion and buy.
And see,
the Bible only put that are not fashion and buy. But that's the fact. No, it's the first. Something years ago, not fashion and buy.
Kwesi, don't go there. Don't go there. No.
We are in the modern society. With you.
Young culture. Or say aketesia. Aketesia children. A church will be our katan wide. In all angles, a dear enuma mimuchi asun. And what you have is what you give. Since Emra yen ye existiwo ye jurisdiction na ye Ghana hanu same. Near the attitude and sample. Your culture, your religion. Culture and so yina yenim say I was say usiesi home properly. 2. Your religion and so major religions I want saying so obia so echre proper dressing. Enti a demonstrate oko a Muslim yenu Muslim for na or dressing a show pepe. Oba Christianity na say oko sorry them specifically we share Adventist the way or dress na a neat. Now near beside who say a ban is saying and a bedroom ham say. And until I say on mining nan I was say yeni ewu because the apex of our showcase to the world no any universities.
Right.
And to say university Sanyama we it means say as the beginning no. You realize
I mean they dress but just in the full modern
note that
looks good.
Baby, our person could be it's a matter of choice. So, person could prisons are. It's a matter of choice.
Right.
All the services. Who person a pilot, who person a medical doctor. I mean, a matter of choice. And you play by the rules. Every game has a rule. And nontina obi wo hono mo a sonko nyanko better to an obey bibi. But oko prisoner onim say hono mo no ente sa enti no prison service a onye sa de no. Obi e person o ye medical practitioner onim say sa niema we na esem ye den me hye eno nti no onye sa ye ba hanom say no enye say enya fiti preko pen ye den ye ba nke ye ba na nka ye ntade ne ya ye ne bibia wo hono ma enka I don't think so you will be permitted here into meaning say at every point and every time no there are rules, there are codes that governs mebia was a war in the university status with our education system no it always talks about how we dress. And until if you can remember and cannot even teachers not ye prescribe
uniform. Yeah.
So in all angles no it is natural and neutral in all the universities that we have. Say
no, but you see
dress code.
I agree with the dress code now. I agree 100%. But and the reason is your modern trends, your fashion. It's a man, young girls now ban. I mean, tattered jeans, a fashion abaso. One time na bass na boshe no aka say it and then ya boss no tattered jeans no ya papa in say ho kakanya de and the hair abano e bi twitwa ne no pe. I mean, these are fashion. It doesn't affect the brain of the person, affect the person of the person. It's the one no shenade no hu ade. But the fashion there, I mean, just let the person to be.
So what is within is what you bring out. How you look talks more about you.
Okay.
And one thing, me ba hanum say, Obia be unso, oh, this guy is a very nice person. Say me ma no enkasaya. And no nachre. Enti say akwala no, how disciplined that child or that student is no, is always portraying a chre ewo n'entade shem ene ne BBM. Hwe enkofo mienu. Yemfa ne say wakọ obi n'ani ayo gon wa she tatted sa tatted jeans ne kekeka ho. Obi nso dressing nice. Na say wakọ omumienu wakọto omumienu na bibi boni asi yemfa ne say krono bi akoso a adwin mu no first thinking at the end of the day why now we be suspecting enti in all fairness in all angles your culture and until na sisi and your development and your creativity no asano because your background no yayira no until we are not able to find our feet to base on and develop until we are nowadays omo aye churning out from the universities no we always talk about unemployment because they are not being creative to create things for themselves in life.
It's just a minute on this one because I mean Legon I'm not for sending messages. So if you go to Legon UST West, if you go to UCC West, have you gotten to the point where probably even at the university level you're prescribing a uniform and my students to curtail some of these things you're talking about? Mr. Boche, I'm not also for just a minute on this.
Yes, so it's not a matter of properly designing or putting something for the student to wear.
Right.
It's a matter of training them from the fundamentals. We expect say at where they are they know everything and so they should be able to dress in the way that we want. And we should start. Another time I can say because yentumi ansha se ewo MVTS go to Valley View perfect. Valley View University perfect.
I see. Doc,
Kwesi,
your mom dress code.
Dress code there, I don't go by it, okay. But they make any. I can't remember yet time I never UCC from 1999 to 2003. So just was it 2001? adehye ho papa no behwehwe de ba nti man a young person nti they thought say le ba no bia de bi na aba eno mo ko frɛ no oba akra ne ba ye na atare ye hye no the man slap onene ba no obo na so pa mienu ewo in presence of students and you say Atlantic Hall ni na assembly hall ni so they say and addition so the embarrassment na papa no be no it tells you say some of the students no omo bedru ho kwa ron pick sa life no
okay
it tells you that papa no was cultured so they say eti Kwesi Bible class ya wadi nyina ho kwan ba nye nyina na ye maye so just yes be sua de school ni say on the mrani o dress ye ni ehu se o ye school ni me dia ha me ye kwan na o si twino no na ho kwan na ha me
the from the some you be afini the boy wow we improper in this
wow we ha o say omo fa means be say even entrance come to me ngure
that's what they've done
we say and omo fa lecturers no so just say I think say lecturers no ne nkra no wo events relationship be a obetumi ne akra da kasama ade a wo ye kra no ebi a onti de wo ye ase ebetumi another example, many some students are kasa man when you see them say at least be proper from
no brother city ebusafo on the page these are the quick thoughts on say I will say share from the fundamentals on the training crown and your fashion sem dresses and senior botwe amayati says Bible no crowning in ano they gag against indecent dressing oba de kata ho sentin young girls na ban and man for no so mon kasa nche mo ban man mainly na the corporate man na more the corporate ataro be she ombo bra no ba lecture ho na lecture na chirade lecture no she nipa I mean we was short skirt bi abetena ho na I mean a hardin to UPC for say this time this is the way maybe all the other universities can equally follow suit. It's in if you understand, I'm a board no on the page just to quickly run through a year 24-hour economy. No? That is the biggest conversation and on the page. After 6 months of John Mahamud's administration, finally, or the 24-hour economy, no, or the aba. It's the aba. What are the details? What are the things we need to know? DNA womb. A big team survive, a big team jina, and a overly ambitious because you see in the presentation there we are spending about $4 billion. That is the amount I will say, but for now, they're spending about $300 million on a year as a seed fund for the 24-hour economy. No, we be boa Ghana the economy asisana. Ana emwa ana office say na meka no e setting some kwa ye ka tum keke na fe nothing will happen ana. These are the critical questions we'll be asking this morning. You be share make 24 no if we can or if we do have the power to sustain it. Why run a 24-hour economy? No, what is the benefit? We a businessman now want to subscriber. These are things that we need to look at another pay. And for you, will share me and I will information. What can you do to also tap into the 24-hour economic system? No, idea. Another pay we'll try and then get into it. You know, my main board knows want to pay quickly. Now for all the information on right. You know, just as simple as that. Oba, you shared the children for whether there's been a policy shift, and I said there hasn't been any policy shift. You know, you begin to realize, and I'm going to break it down for you, just simple breakdown. Because a 24-hour economy, you know, feasible or overly ambitious. It is a question we're asking this morning. Say, bit imagine, and then paying for boy, amayati no mobiase. Say, a bit ye looking at the current system we have in the country, a bit imagina and answer imagina. Yeah, Kobono, share what the NDC promised Ghana for in 2024. About number 12, and what kaya now me say a clock be John Mahama all launching a company. So number kaya na clock is in Chang, and oftentimes, most of the time, when we clock on about TV, so it gave us an indication, say, a one job, 3 shifts in the past 6 to 2. And you remember area 2 to 8, and you remember 8 to the next morning 6 again. So that's what the promise was. 247 in 3 shifts of 8 hours each. That's the promise. So the president impression say a human and a neighbor 3 times in a day. It's but this promise, I think departing from it, is it a policy? Has there been a policy shift or not? Now, top 5 campaign message from the NDC economy, which is key, and I'm say it was centered on the economy in 2024 and unemployment. Now, unemployment in the government, and I said John Mahama, the president, to say through the 24-hour economic policy, also creating 1.7 million quality jobs. That's not joke. 1.7 million. So the economy rebound, economy cost now in so able. So graduate unemployment, as you talk about every day, with a 24-hour economy, a bit boy, ama university, would they be able to get jobs or work to do? These are things we'll be looking at. Now, let's get into the details of the 24-hour economy. So, 8 thematic areas. We can build 24, connect 24, show 24, aspire 24, go 24, make 24. I mean, these are things that we can watch. It's in our kaboom, and I'm breaking now as to and no man I winning in name, and I'm the brown. So quickly, stimulus packages for businesses are on the core a year 24-hour economy. It's Packer and Sons Enterprises. My imagine said Besem Kumwa in Faswa Bain and Amina. According to the president, said me kokra a year and your man a year manufacturing equipment. ABR. Young fan say because shoe machine be at BB Timaya shoe. BB Timaya ABR. Young was the plastics. Because crash on the bar. Import duties being tia. That is the benefit into a company. Now person enjoy ya. That's what the president is saying. Say, who go fast manufacturing equipment in the back, and yet they'll be here. A lot of renewable energy system about the solar near the adeno, so solar panels not the adeno, air banding nano, import duty. Again, a year raw materials, normal raw materials, a little bit in the year, normal bakum, and say, abu economy, ukofaba, wuntia, industrial logistic infrastructure, very important. You say your railway line, what was no money be, acquiring roads, if you walk and never be the about to do our roads. According to the president, so what the who question now your businessman import duties now be at you and what year won't you be in your all come. So these are some of the stimulus packages up. Excellency all come was them. You're quite we're looking at no corporate tax on strategic agri production, and this is very important because the 24-hour economy as launched by the president, they centered more on agri. However, some not just Ghana, even Africa, the bread basket of Africa. Just say Ghana, you be eduane Africa for you na in Japan a comedy you be full security a comedy so yes you be eduane bi other African countries, but the question I'm asking is say galamsey be ban kwanyana. It's a simple question you are asking, but the voter basing to be fair to the fact galamsey no and no man penning we choose that area because what mama in the voter like any voter basin area na galamsey no koso so probably etimi year as on manya we can get the benefits. More serious and most will tax, more kind of corporate tax, more roots and tubers by year banchina, the other side in animal protein, sugar, vegetables, oil seeds. We agri production here, or man penny say. And now 24-hour economy, I say, we a company going into these agri production, corporate income tax in the Bishop for won't come. You're crazy. So the most important part of for you now is the 2-shift system or the 3-shift system. And the companies want 1 or 2 shifts. Everyone is 3 shifts. In fact, I remember when the issue came up. Now, MP before raising concerns about unless 4 year 3 shift and the what is the situation on my penny say we a company now person run and this is and doc but you have no man because you have in here me pa on my penny say we a company now person running 2 shifts and a 3 shifter or say corporate income tax there's going to be a rebate because rebate I before kaka is simple matter ni na say afina national we taxes no you never say afibia bia o tax also utia e wadwuma we ye ho e 100 Ghana for 100 Ghana so 100 Ghana no say we run 2 shifts we why you so we run 2 shifts and a 3 shifter so we run 2 shifts now you about 25% of what tax na we tia no it's not the what it means is that 100 Ghana na we tia no you about 25 Ghana cedis say we're running the 3 shifts which is the core mandate of the 24-hour economy now. What it means is that you have half of the money to 100 Ghana cedis. You sign the 50 Ghana behind the amount. So you're ticker also. But then again, this is a country in Niska. We need money to revive the economy. So how are we going to fill in the shortfalls? Make sure what they are seeking to do. Whether dog a 12 sumu, unless a 12 sumu. So any company be a Packer and Sons, one Sons, one enterprise, one ventures. Who person running 2 shifts and not 3 shifter. Or my company say, what taxes now would turn a fibiano. About 25% depend on the shift you are running, or 50% rebate depend on the shift you are running. It's in a way they emphasize businesses, no. What person will you be no? Come now. Another stimulus package I can want some targeted exemptions, of course. In Gofobu, as an American, and you'll be on the betting tax in that day. And very important, say electricity, there, no. And already we are battling with doom so kakra on. As I can share that generation. My penny say, more running 24-hour economy. We are business running 24-hour economy. About 10 pay. Say, you have a consumption during the day. Who consuming you find say 50 Ghana cedis. About 10 pay you pay. 50 no so better. If you are 10 Ghana cedis from 10 o'clock PM, me can 10 PM to another 6 AM which have 10 cedis, 10 Ghana cedis. But if you are during the day, you know, what you have 50 Ghana cedis. Or say about 10 PM. Now we that's year Juma, we year Juma pay. Be work company electricity no. Nina, I bet you perform. You are 10 Ghana cedis. I'm just giving an example, just a second example. 10 Ghana cedis. So it would encourage a lot of people to do more of the night work, you know. But then again, you ask yourself the question: how are they going to recalibrate and calibrate the meters, you know? So now we're ready at 10 PM, you know, a bit me a conform, and I say to conform. Another question to ask, and we'll be speaking to an energy expert to answer some of these things. Mom, export. Also, I'm due to a 6% a year rebate. State institution. She say Ghana state institution. I say, but talk and no year Ghana. Locally produced a year products Ghana. Into be unquiet and I butcher no. That's what the president is saying. Or say more, yeah, what Ghana ya. Say me packer, say me produce ABR and more. A buying institution ever told money free home. And they're all canon. And the faster uses of regulatory clearance. So these are some of the things that show your business, not so come one. If I saw being end no. Now you're quitting him, Sakabe 3 stars. You're quitting him. Now we are looking at the next slide, which is but you're quitting him. So the stimulus packages, you know. So the long term businesses even your support. The war on this guy, some form of so expanded. Or the probably 50 or so expanded. A bank see over low interest loans. Ghana your loans seven not be catcher as economists. Ghana no boss so. In the bank is also don't can be as a private company. The amount low. That's what a bank is saying. It's you know these are things that would help the private companies to really grow. It's you know structural reforms. You can now say it's shame your man. So that be a bit to me a 24-hour economy. Or my penny or the Abase, of course. Ecological parks along water basin, you know. What I break in 70 in Arizona, ABC, urban farming cluster. The bay create baby. It was an area ho Nina or my penny no can. A water lake transport system. This is an interesting one. Says Siano. Water lake can see part of the northern region, no. And no, I didn't know fast. Ya de nyoma beso nti em bafa kuma se nkotamari but they be fat in so no so to wherever we go see what Tamale sana ka ba yeden aba be fa akobia aircon. So these are the things that man say the structural reforms and no more say yeah as on mine so that be 24-hour economy to me enya engineer papa and I say and I papa engineer so they ye adwuma no na ye kwen no this is where the biggest challenge will be na ye kan nyina no man penny say you need $4 billion to do all the things you are talking about. $4 billion here. It was for Uber, $41 billion. 41 billion. You go first kind of way. Doc, how the economists? So can you find a way? These are the questions we are asking. Already, I say, but the 300 seed fund, and the next slide, number $300 million as a seed funder, or they a shame for the stats. PP is for so na inside can be 148 million for my year the district common funds can you come on no you been 148 million other things including the year 24-hour markets. I can make more explanation about my son can year because we look at the document say market saying the book 24 hours and is that what it is? We don't know yet, but we'll get into the detail. So, and this will be the final point. And so many times I make a point, you know, it's more business is in the short form I make a no. On my point, see all the things you are talking about. Sika pay any other thing in ano. Say Lucibia. What it means is that imported processed foods back Ghana no. The 2.5% ever two omo kanaso. Wow, this segment back Ghana. The 2.5 but to so wow this second hand clothing you know so second hand for now mo ko kay channel dubai kotono yeah but to 2.5%. That is according to the president. Again, pharmaceuticals we say Ghana no to expand into ndro if you abuchire ba o man pani say 2.5%. What about to so the amount sanitary parts cosmetics and mano mun san kuto Baba so sra enroma efia broche dia na kuto no se kama ye dia iso sra kuto yi bia na mbo so be sra kuto no bi na so sra na efia broche ba or so 2.5% better so what it means is that be cost no one be cost e dia mam and the plastic households and so man pedin aka ho asem it you know this is finally the part where he says that or the be call a parliament to get parliamentary approval. Say Bejatum, say engine is another matter. Maybe it's a dog and senior a butcher. And then finally the question is very simple. We're asking this morning. The simple question is 25 economy policy. It was for a ye and not any ye. It's a simple question you're asking this morning. It's from what you have heard, from what the president has said, a ye and then ye. Metrasi, nothing would do what you said no ba. But doc was saying I'm many dog Beshasi say, Doc, we share the policy now. Do you think there's been a policy shift from what John Mahama said earlier as against what you are seeing now, Anna?
Kwesi, from the campaign time up to today, what I've seen is the Omudiba campaign time no or more abolition more. Oma pollution enti ema we no look more enticing ya no I say a draw closer to it but Makaneha on several occasions say Ghana in terms of policy formulation Caribbean no betray we are saying
this is a policy in come
say yetintim nkrata to pa fa ye mine ye yo ho de obi anto but my problem is the implementation and I me follow throughout na me saka document na me go through the document no me hu say enye encouragement na o matena se aye sa policy we so go through na say o criticize na wa ma another viewer na wa ankasa so na ho adwene because o matena se na mete baako bia na wo di nkomo omuso spokesperson baako na ne nsɛm a na wo ka no utumu sɛ from Kwame Nkrumah plan about to a champion to Liman to structure adjustment programs and the latest was the weakness of the 1D1F. And no more a compounded. No more diaba. But my question is another 1D1F.
So they are not setting up factories.
They are not setting up factories. No quantity the different thing. Any 1D1F no. But don't forget, if what they are saying is what they are going to do, Ghana, you were around 23 Friday say commercial banks.
Okay.
Odi yemfa rural banks ne other banks no entonchen. Later no, you bit my enroll. Is it going to be like say we are going to Exim Bank? We create one bank or Africa Development Bank. Now a whole na yeko queue because or elaborating more on SMEs.
Yeah.
And any country what my fan into my pipe India babe emerging economy, Brazil yeah emerging economy ni nyina no. A true SMEs.
But what share nya Oma Kenya and yeah sika 7 ya. Ye betimi enye sika na bia ye dwuma we.
Ye sika 7 de President Kasem wo mani yet ase say sika no emfree aban ho na beba paawo. Abai kasa yemu no de waka no sika ni free aban ho na eba. Ono de obema seed money bia ye betumi di for administrative purpose ni manema no.
Because I'm saying because you say cathedral the catch say a private fund besi.
And na make
enya aban sika. Ewie ye no. Na ko ban say aban sika ene the year cathedral.
Kwesi
it's in reference to this one. Watana wakade which I agree. But who should be me?
Kwesi unsa make us and me say maka commercial bank say wo. So just say e yade a aban betumi no modin kita ho. Now we are SME. Now we betuma ko banks no you just pop in at any branch. Now the documents beto no musu be hwe wo niam wo pese wo ye. Na bebo a eye wo private person no. Wo ni bank no na akonya negotiation. And na abani ma enabling environment. You fabi be enabling environment. So there's an original springboard be so. Sika bi wa nka wo kopa, nka wunya. But and now we ska no kra no a aban no be negotiation to the extent say interest rate ya and be 35% no.
So ma
ebeba for
low interest rate.
It eba form dia. Now say aban it's like say wo ma me sovereign guarantee. Say me bank ni ko kasa. Bank no hwe me nkrata asemu. No me hwe adwuma kwa bese me ye. Kwesi meti I'm into manufacturing.
Right.
But I'm challenged because of capital.
Oh, okay. You're into manufacturing.
Yeah, I'm into manufacturing of aluminum products, silvers, washing bases as well. Yes, it wasn't taking advantage.
Oh, I see.
And then MPP time, no, you can fill the forms. Is it going to be the same thing? Immediately, say, I will be financing. No one will hear me. So, be financing the na ye ni ebetimi akọ na akọ access no nso abehwe o machines egu no ne ma egu ho no mo a na ombe bow na ya mouse sika ni bi na at a reduced interest rate I think say kaya sem papa
okay
ba Ghana asem o na ye ken
Ghana asem na ye ken ya Ghana asem na ye ken nzabochi timambra so o chere enkonta okay kasi ni a o hwe befa nya o ma benedict
yo medasi Dr. Farouk Mechiao Oshe their Oshe background now a idea a fitity Ubisamia 24-hour economy in its shape is perfect.
Okay.
And so no wabisa ho say enema wo no I to say wo ho we say me to plane me see Abronsan bear 4 we are then you come back to the reality no wabisa ho say so nia me wo no ebetimi aboa me medro say we see Abronsan bear 4 na wo to
tinia Ghana for your one ebe boa ye am etina chi with 24-hour economy no
exactly and technically so sure 24-hour economy is a combination of planting for food and then one district one factory because
you're very right on that.
You are growing and then you manufacture and then you export those ones and you know sanity here. Then we come to the reality. Say we are 24-hour economy say no we now understand say it's not about extending the working hours. Being quoted by, I'm quoting the president.
Okay.
It's not about extending working hours, but it's about unleashing productivity, expanding opportunities, accelerating export through a well-structured and multi-sectoral and inclusive interventions.
Right.
Enti say ubisa check on manifesto no mu no chapter 2 now what share section 1 up to 8 now chapter 2 no talking about the 24-hour economy policy emu no o tre ma ye hu say nia omo kan ye ni nyina no sa na ewo eye omo policy ni but just that on say bibia na ese onya slogan na ma na ye de 24-hour economy 8 hours but in details no nia enra omampani through ne secretariat friend is a head that's Kusitando Ebeka you know na manifesto
that's true.
Yes now we here no front one at the no mo kan you know the intention is to create 1.7 million jobs as it stands now. In labor force no is hovering around 14 million Ghana labor force and now Osha you say you employ both private and public sector no is employing in excess of 13 million workers but public sector there they are hovering around 688,000 it means that the chunk of the labor force no is being employed in the private sector. And nontina obia obaye oko wachi nyina na obia obaye no or say is going to be private sector led because they don't have any option. They don't have that room to absorb all that all these workers. Nti ye fa eno a e kire say ni ewo ni omo be kan ye ene ni e manifesto no e pepepe. But then government is saying that they are going to create the enabling environment. And the enabling environment no abisa won say Ghana oba no yemfa your roads nkwa. Your roads nkwa no is 94 million kilometers. That 94 no we've done only about 27%
of it
of your friends and your roads no ya paving no. But the remaining 73% no yenya ne hwe so opese so also create enabling environment there it means that you have to get motorable roads so opese we yes ade na it's going to take you $12 billion
say they fight insurance
the say or say one ka say enye insurance nkwa na nyina befa
but majority of them befa insurance
say e befa insurance
majority of them befa insurance
say e befa insurance say e befa a friend is saying roads you need development and I'm talking about those $12 billion to actually go in to make the road whether on the sea on the the normal land to be motorable and in that aspect no
that was
which of course the total money we are earmarking for the 4-year period no that we are going to experiment is 4.1 billion and in that case no will we be able to survive again, when you check the 2025 budget, the income, that's the GDP, we are going to get in around 299 billion, but we are going to spend in excess of 260 something billion, a deficit of 43.1 billion. Meaning, say, if we just oppose the figures from the budget,
right,
even our income will not be able to survive us against our expenditure. And in that case, bringing in these ones, how are we going to provide the fund? Because the GDP is not
so the investment infrastructure.
I just want us to bring the
think. Let me clear something.
Where do you get the money?
Just say the idea does not rely on the government. I'm saying government to facilitate that $4 billion US. So just say, only the other say, Obetek is part as infrastructure development and Sademaniamano. So just say, the question I want Mr. Bukwe to ask is, what is the component of the infrastructure development? How much is it going to cost government?
And
how much government is going to?
I was coming to that. I gave the first
preamble. You follow
roads in Kwan.
You follow
a chunk there that we have to look at. We are no free on one. You have to stabilize power.
Yeah.
By stabilizing power, as it stands now, you need 1.2 million to actually fuel machines to get a stable power. As it stands now, we are owing in excess of $3.1 billion in terms of electricity and our energy. How are we going to manage it? It is good, sir. Now there has been an introduction of a tax of 2.45%. Actually, when you do the calculation, it's hovering around the 1.2 million, which they want to use to fund that one. And it is also good, sir. The one Ghana cedi, they are now bringing the one Ghana cedi. Exactly. With check it trajectory now every year, that is going to be in between 5.6 billion. In effect, for 6 to 7 years now, all things being equal, we should be able to pay our debt. And see, bringing that one is good. But here lies the case. We are talking about, say, I will say a niema eba form. Timemufo etom. But then we are now introducing taxes. And see, for me, if you ask me, the same song was sung in the previous regime, or say one district, one factory, planting for food and job. But at the end of the day, the implementation was poorly done.
Yeah.
And see, be painting a boasrewa. So the general way in we are all in for the 24-hour plus lunch. But we want to also criticize, not just criticize, but critique.
Yeah, critique.
So that governments will now know, say, let me pull it from here, let me do it this way. At the end of the day, say, we are friends, say, conform, so I say, kromwa. So at the I was say a crown bedding.
It's back to the what's my kind of indigenous would be our question. A direct question. Looking at what we have, what shall 24-hour economy? What are decided about the besides our question? Looking at what we have currently now as of mine, 24-hour economy.
When you check our resources, it means that it should be possible. Every time you want better outcome, you have to challenge the status quo. Okay. And once you can't championed by the leader. Possible, say
possible
24 hours.
And you're overly ambitious.
But then it's not overly ambitious. And you're overly ambitious.
No, overly ambitious.
But then I see it say this 24-hour economy is just coming to how do you give power to everything, everyday activities that we do. Because in a hoa nearma no. And no one as ya born a tough one. But Sisian and what they bad bedding, a bad shame. And we should all embrace it. Make sure that we contribute our quota. Because when Ghana develop, the standard of living of us will also be up. And then the cost of living will be down.
Okay. And Doc, my because you see, yours seem to suggest, but you see, already Yama a lot of tax incentives. Corporate income tax, I'm running 2-3 shifting. You pay 25% rebate, you pay 50% rebate. And online channel, say all run it not about 10 p.m. to the next morning. Now, again, the tariffs comes down. And I was happy when Boche made the point that they cut already about 3.1 billion. Although the one Ghana city doing so even ever to show up for it. Side of my way, as a tax incentive, it won't get job taxes in the crowd because of what they are doing in terms of agri production. Do you think that in spite of all these, economy bit me mind you, next year we'll be paying our external debt. Yeah, the cat between each other. Mama, you are coming down.
Kwesi,
I say my free gifts no.
Kwesi, they make any. Titibo nyinibo nipa. Ubi Ghana. Ghana J2 no ede ne ede aye ye J2 nye no eto tua no ye J ye nye na ede ne ede aye ya J2 akwaje bosia ye D2 di bosia so what you say now the mechanic also ye nyina no say Mr. Botwe kan no we need to come into agreement. We need to ask some questions. Now questions now say you actually say Ebia now most of them are launching, but as time goes on also details in out.
Yeah.
Government ni quota or contribute to no senior ECT. And where is the government going to get the money? No account about the energy sector. And now also ubisa question about energy sector. Kwesi unim say omo calibrate say meters no emamo now eba for more now me more production. I think the people will choose to work in the night
no more.
What do you say? Yeah. So therefore production is going to what? Increase. And then the production are increasing, you have tax rebate, but it doesn't mean say we pay exercise tax.
Okay, which exercise tax?
So government will get one way or the other. Government will get what? Income from you. Oh, eti me say different amount. That means say bonkumya dey edge. But Emma how? So I just say, oh yeah, adwuma now o tax so dey akoye say 25%. Oh, mentia. So I say, safa ko wura adwuma ni mu a how? But enema no we produce the door so now we dey aba out no. Don't forget your excise tax on you pay.
Yeah.
It in a way no. So what you 25% in na crowd, we pay 15% be. E dey am buy. Now instead of 25% on saka no, no mu 10% na ba ho na, but still ekushi. Yes, baby. Argentina, yeah, West African countries be mu interest rate 5%. Interest rate 5%. Enti wo no, they don't need Ghana. Say ombeba Ghana ba betuto eniema o Ghana. So what I say, all that we need, they say, assurance say, this is our sources of finance. Oko hanuma, now we see kasemino, omumeshe dumano, o capacity. Based on that, any analysis, because the banks, the banks, the moment say 2 million, a bit bossing say, Yabeka say, young Franco District Assembly, na young co fill for more. Dear Mama Slok, anye ebi no sa small entrepreneur ho bi sa bi na assemblies no SS ho
SSBI no
dem na anya ye ye de ko fra district assembly bureaucracy no too much so say me ko ebi a Barclays bank na me ko dem say Barclays me edwo na pesa me ye me do business plan aka ho Barclays omuwo professionals they will sit down, they will analyze it because over the sikano
I see.
And then bank what do I say? When they're philanthropists.
Sorry, that's such a low interest.
And the banks, it's not the hunger of the poor. That the baker based bread.
Yeah.
For them, they need profit.
They need profit.
They will look at under scrutinize what they know. Now I buy no one chino who baby.
End up from sound.
They be on chino who baby.
Look, as well can from what you end up from sound, end up from then I can end up from sound.
And yeah, easy, but we can start from somewhere.
Sound.
We need to start because
I'm
to the extent say and now who provide finance now other stakeholders be able provide finance there na ye na ye kwaje na who say megia the consequences is upon me I think say be boy na ye kwa anim
the for me we'll be looking at we'll be tracking the policy no you be sure say whether they are meeting the right tangibles or no. I mean the tangibles na be no whether they are meeting its expectation. I say meeting expectation. I feel na and I'm sure say within the week in our good next week in no we'll still have some angles to because a dorsal. In fact, I didn't even talk about the tourism aspect of the 24-hour economy this morning. Man, can't want it. Build 24 hours. Man, can't want it. So these are issues that it's broad, it's so, and it be say we a broad so. Ghana they say you be one planting for food and jobs and fat. One day you say I'm fat. It's the way one day show one warehouse I'm fat. Then they just say we be fat. And I was your settings because the politicians there. And your settings are there in the crop. You feel say settings and I feel say we there be fat. From what I have told you this morning and because the policy document is very detailed. I'm a catch on and Kyle the brain I ain't can watch them. I don't say be fan as I am fa. I don't pay be a phone number because I want to know your thoughts. Why we a businessman? Why a normal ordinary person? What do you think say we be to me idea my? You see, me fa course this year and I say you fa course you and me fa course this year no pay. 0594 192409 0322497264. John Mahama 24 hour finally or the aba. No more you ho or the sempa na bu ha wo sha yen sempa and away certain sempa. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, I'm for Shana Previn. Ba o si eti o.
Come on mo bien na we dey what dey effect yes yes scam no more I mean scam Lana, I was there for you, woman. Can I think? So what happened here? So, shall I buy it? What happened here? Shall I that's what you're not
so
what's up there? I don't know what to be about. Also, the young can only get it. I'll be somewhere to
Mate. Medasi, I see we scam. Yes, come here, you Mate. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Paka.
Yes, I force everything.
Paka, yeah, it is the Kazeti Accra of officer town.
Yes, you are the Peminia.
Madam, I'm chair or two things, and I'm chair. I can't even know what I'm
meet you.
School brana na yeka social school brana ya wa kuti big na international paka o me pa me ma ko be be the teacher after you with ma 80 years paka o do ka ba school na o ta apa ke su ka na paka me mo na kana ka no di kana ko nyesi no kana su ya se mi se family of course which is me and chap yet no akra but I hope that the basic after ya course see jump forty that is you but your mama in promise but share say ya like let's just share ya they will be down who let about go the to see like head of the young I can you what here yet when I say number one hospital you need to be from discussion now just the catch ye catch it and I think it is let them you don't catch them and they come
Medasi. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
But your first and everything.
Pastor Oyerepa.
Me bacho wa no Oyerepa ni tio.
Amo ya discussion pa 24-hour economy hona. Fine na wata wai kala no. Parce emro abaine so tomorrow according to law. The bedroom will be better to tell. No na me.
It's no ko se record to. Wo se emro abaine so. O chine bi ne be bo ama am wait se bro no so a. But me what am kasa me wo ka to. Hello, good morning. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Your first and everything is there.
If I should tell me something very
Great, yeah, you too.
Well, Papa, you said we are on Ghana when you need to get a baby about one of the program. Who is the kind of development plan? You say, me and my friend Muhammad, for launching and way. Within 4 years, here, obedience. Obedience, I think, don't be in Muna. You get married now, you get married before years. On yet, especially, or one girl, 3 children. There are no numbers that only can focus on. And by a mother, yeah, we know you used to a man. You think you must hide. Okay. Can I buy you man? If I buy them to be important harbor, any airport in other areas, no, yes, and one job, 3 shifts.
Okay. It's, I don't know, Mate. People really wanted to know that, but I know if it's more. Right.
I don't think it's I'm not the idea.
Mate, Medasi. Also, the political parliament to get parliamentary approval. And say, I bet you whoever comes in as a president, I bet you training, send a better law and bread down. Say, you continue with the policy and down. Yeah, hello, good morning. Nyamiadu mya hoya pa force and everything.
And then you were out to do that bands are who do and I do present Calvina, who present the positive Calvina, market I would do not port I would do to Indiana, anything for some of them now, my name. Oh, no man knows our position, we are the we have to have a we have our position. We have the benefit about who needed your mama and President Mama is going to be the but we see we do the first woman need to show the family
Medasi. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Union Paka, incoming president.
Yamya Dompa, SK Bolas, over your boss, I come out of Peminia.
Wow, this year, SK Bolas, Namination, and what is the name of one coffee crew. I'm a former MP, one of Manuel Akwesi, Jamfi, the Emma of Piano, and the Mother Mapa. daka onsame wae papa kakra me kan se unde ensema mu kan akoti su ebe na wo kan ese bible cry pa ni eti afo bible cry pa ni ebu odiko ya kenya mi asem pa na enoma na ye no ni nya mi asem no emobra ebi ani o NDP ba ko ma be twa ya tro NDC ba ko ma be twa ya tro enso mo bi bi ani ento mo so ya mi ani na wa anwe de ba de ba papa ye bo de kedo ye be su ye ba be mu kutuke e san se ye tuo mo se ye mpanifo no omo de kana agene e di agro omo mo ni na ho anya ta se de nsuo eye no sana wi abeye
let's just 2 more calls out of on the show medasi pio SK Bolas. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, sir, first and everything. Me pacho ye panie, ye first and everything.
Pacho me kaza.
Okay, you too. The line munye.
So me de ni ka frimpon, me ka se fi akra.
Okay, frimpon you too.
Me say wada o ma chia doctor no mame.
Okay.
Asem we ya ye kan no e se ye de ye propaganda. So ati doctor na sem na wo kan no. Esi nyina mama hama adwen pa so se esi otimi di sika ne bank fo ne se ne ye kan.
Yeah.
So ati approach 24 hours economy ne e wo ho. So ati ne ye fitu ase na da ben ye betimi ya bi. So ati entinu mahama na se ye mana adwen pa so se Ghana commercial bank no di sika ne be mo se ne ye be ya enkodi edipa ne bibotum. So ati who go na wo kan na do show person say you connect there you so waxing ya wo betimi ya ma na yi.
Right.
Madam doctor.
You mate. Doctor
me tell me tie ne pa. And wo paka so.
Yedasi. Me de besi ha na mo send a message say this is not what they promised us no. Cause mo share 133 no. The rationale or logic, according to the president, they say, you be my private sectors now, then they will be able to now roll out the 24-hour economy. No? It's an almost and a bear 133. No? It's the same kind of Packer and Sons company. Me corner say you be mum because you loan as a low no interest rate in a form. Me because I'm into manufacturing. To say make 24. Me tariffs, you know, a buff form between 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Many incentives, me import here, me intuition, maybe more production, many more hands on board, more labor. It's an upper 4 bar, area 4 bar, another 4 bar, sanity. It's in a really, I don't foresee government workers. I may be wrong, but I don't foresee government workers really getting into this matter. But for what the foreign minister said a few months ago, say the foreign affairs ministry, 24-hour economy because of just a black. It's a shade himself is a black way. Yeah, our other baby, and the minimum year, my 24-hour economy because of a year, foreign affairs ministry. It was a now. Na pe mo nka saso and tonton spring that so mosquito con that so e wo ho tonton wire stubborn insect wire stubborn spray no and afa call ni si ho obeko no simple e obe bi ato e wo e store bi e ben obi a every for approve if it's a company ho for saso company for on 0246 864798 0246 864798 and 0501 454462 0501 454462 saso ese kuntuntum preko na eye coco plus me bon kai say nkra no be 6 months and above no omuhia bi pa yi se na be ometimi nyini kama pa ombody be hye kama e jona so be nya sachet ba ko pe eye food supplement wo de go no stew mo wo de go no kwan mu na wo ka fra pe onoma odin the bank on the board e bia na se ne bank bia solid kwa no de bi ohia bia no jodo ohia bia no e be koso kama e de ma no from on the pay on 0501 576589 0501 576589 Coco Plus is good nutrition within reach. ahomka heat patch say bin kan say moi mo body pains if I no pain me ba na me company say me nine am litia break ni pedal no so no home me ya I don't know why me ya nti me point am compare ahomka heat patch di bi me ko Pedro and na so be tade so what the tade so a pains be obi ada be twene nyina akọ nti so wo show drone ma don't worry body pain, joint pain, be the fatal so what the ties are, be from our pay on 0599 802 297 0599 802 297 and 0243 509 003 0248 509 003. Your best say, we should have spoken to an energy expert. Let me apologize. Say time is into no one can say, but subsequently going forward, no, you're not being come on to understand a few things. So, okay, we your bag continue. Final words na fe. Your wrap your panel.
The final words no. We share trajectory senior corner. CCR no inflation is 13.7.
Yeah, true.
I think the economy budget no. Na target no 11.9 at the end of the year, and it means we are on the. In fact,
I'm told that the revised should be 10 to 9. Looking at what things are going.
Yes, you know we are on the path of glory. Advice I'm be man say one say per se ye ma policy no ebem na edimudia we should strengthen our infrastructure first.
Okay.
And I was here say ye empower your local businesses.
Mate.
Based on an ornament chair, Professor Martin Akote, rector of Valley View. Macha Dr. Nana Kofi entry the second. Udumasen, no sign if I him my job.
Yo, Machi, Madasipi. Doc, then go.
Kwesi, the American in an essay, we know Ghana for Yema Nimre, near my will be anymore. No be Casimon. Yema ye ninsi ni so na yen kaka no na wonye sense de bio mu ba no obeka de mu penu mo gya hokọ no sa de no se twem na ye ko yanim na de etwa to okra se Sunday na adepa at 40
oh
Sunday we are adepa and you ukofia fagusu na Inti adepa at 40 nyame ya adoma Sunday.
Oh, okay, that's right.
2:00 going to know. Okay. Ewo jache fence wall. Yeah, nyame ya adoma yebishia.
Adepa for happy birthday in advance actually. Yeah.
Kwesi. Yeah, pon. Abusian for ye bre na so. No nsia na ye ba ye ya bro bi so a enkomo no de bebre wo ho. A me gidi se mo be di ato so ba bi amu nyuma mu fie mu ne ba bi a. Ye jamo ho na ye jamo so a ye nyamo sa akwa ye de mu ja sometime otu achampon and sports crew no na omo e de mo ato aso kwesi se dum ye no bebo a ye de yen kase no ebeba nyame ya dum a kwesi ye de esi ya na wotwi
ya try holiday
e china ye beto aso ye de dwuma ne foforo beto aso na afi ya je ya home Juada, nyame de yenkwacha yebesan yaba. Me de Akua Asiedua no
Kwesi Parker Wilson, it was a final pay. My guest this morning, Emmanuel Okan, both senior lecturer at Apia University, and Dr. Bimpom, or your political and economic policy analyst. And we are doing for the have a good morning. And the 24-hour economy, no, what big team no for our count, then and I say, I mean, come on, have a good morning.